Sophie, Rico, lovely to meet you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, all
You
good.
say nice to meet you too.
Yeah, good, good, good. Look, we're here today really to talk about your amazing road diving trip from Cornwall up to Scotland, which is a fabulous thing to do because really not a lot of people know the wealth and diversity of our marine life. So it's a great thing to showcase. Um, but before we get into that too much, can you just tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Um, so I'm Rico Anselmi. I've been diving for over 10 years now. Um, and I live and work at Porthkerris Divers down in Cornwall.
I started diving when I was 10. I'm Sophie, and I joined the Porthkerris team earlier this summer to do my dive master. I'm a underwater photographer studying at Falmouth University, so diving goes hand in hand with that.
Excellent. And where did the idea of the trip come from?
I think we obviously down in Cornwall, which is as far south as you can go. And our trip we needed to go to Oban anyway we were planning on doing our HSC up there, and so we had our point A and our point B, and we kind of thought, well, why don't we stop along the way rather than rushing up there in a couple of days? And then it kind of built on from that initial
Yeah,
point.
and loads of people have got in touch, and I think that's come as quite a surprise to how many people are interested in seeing us dive across the UK. So.
So, I mean, it sounds like it just fell together quite easily, quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you decide on what locations to stop and dive at? I mean, how did your research develop up on that?
We got in touch with a load of our divers who had been visiting Porthkerris, places we had to stop at, and we put them all on a map and kind of
Yeah.
saw that a lot of them were grouped together and decided we'd spend some time in each rough area. Um,
Also, as you get to know a lot of do a lot of taking people around our house reef, you quite often ask them where they learnt to dive, and a lot of the popular sites we visited so far, like Stony Cove and Raisbury, a lot of people came from those areas and did their diving in those quarries and came down to our reef.
Right. It's an interesting time of year to do this as well. I mean, how did the weather affect you? Did it stop you diving at all, or did you always find alternative sites?
We've
we
we've been pretty good at finding alternative sites so far. So obviously the quarries, it doesn't matter how much wind there is, it's pretty good to dive in a quarry in any state. You get a little bit affected in the viz with rain, sorry. Um, the main problems we've had is the sea diving. Is you've got a wind that's blowing on shore, then it's quite rough, and we have to switch sites or find somewhere else to go.
Overall, it's been okay. This week, as we've hit Wales, it's kind of been storm after storm. So we've had to switch between sites quite a bit this week. But I don't know if you can hear it. The caravan is shaking currently.
No, no, I can't. I didn't know you were in a caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well done. So I assume that was your accommodation throughout the whole trip.
Yeah, so we're halfway through the trip so far. But we're taking the caravan with us to try and make it as accessible as possible and keep costs down as much as we can.
Fantastic. Are you taking all of your own dive gear, or are you borrowing, renting gear in each location?
So we had very kindly got sponsored by Head, who have provided us with a load of dive kit. So being able to test out a load of new dive kit has been incredible as the journey has gone on. So yeah, we got most of our kit from them. So we've got lovely Apeks regs, which are gorgeous. But other than needing fills from most sites, we are taking our own kit.
Which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Have you got a little trailer, or are you fitting it all into
So
your
I
caravan?
just before the trip, I brought a truck, which is what's towing the caravan, and
Ah,
it quite nicely fit squares away all our kit in the truck, and then in the caravan's got some nice storage as well.
Cool, cool. I was just looking at, because we've been following you on Scubaverse and we've been publishing each of your stops and trips. Lovely photos, nice stories.
Thank you.
How does the photography work? Do you both take photos or just one of you? I mean, how does it work?
So I predominantly take most of the photos. Rico is an expert with a GoPro. Um, and so I feel guilty at a lot of our stops where we will be sat with a hermit crab for half of the dive. So bless him, he's a great buddy for that. I'm sure he can tell you all the pains of having a buddy as a photographer. Um, but yeah, the sites have been incredible for the photos we've had, especially with having to balance different visibilities. But most sites have been great
Yeah.
so far.
I know a lot of people who sympathize with having to dive with a photographer. It's people used to hate diving with me. It was like, as you say, you see something, you may spend the whole dive on it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
wandering
there's
around, going, oh, come on, come on, go
quite
on.
quite often there's like something interesting. We'll see like a dogfish, and then I'm sat there swimming around, circles around Sophie while she's staying perfectly still trying to get the perfect footage.
So it's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. So,
Absolutely.
as a matter of interest, gear-wise, Sophie, what are you using?
Camera kit wise,
Yeah.
I have very kindly been lent by Falmouth University a Nikon Z8 in a Nauticam housing with two retro strobes. Gorgeous bit of kit, and I am loving it. I've also got an Insta360 on the top of that as well, just to make it even heavier. Um, but yeah,
The Insta360, I use that all the time. It's a fabulous camera,
great bit of
amazing.
kit.
Yeah, no, really. Uh, so with all this, I noticed a lot of, well, in fact, most of the stuff I think is macro. Yeah.
In the
Is
last couple of days, yeah.
that simply down to restrictions of visibility?
Yeah, so our sea diving in the last couple of days, the viz hasn't been great. And so just to try and give us a little bit more flexibility on where we're diving, I decided to put on a macro lens. Whereas the quarries we've done last week, I was all wide angle.
I think she got bored of me being the model.
That as well.
Well, I must say the photos really are lovely. Out of your trip so far, any favorite moments, other than food and things like that? I mean, with the wildlife and the marine life.
What's been your favorite?
So coming from reef diving predominantly in the sea, I mean, this trip was my first time diving in quarries. Um, so it was really cool to see like a lot of them make do without having like reefy environments. So they put that we've gone through like parts of planes, like fully intact boats that have been put in these quarries, cars, vans. So it's really cool to see all the stuff that you normally find on land or in the sky, like under the water, and being able to go in it, which I found really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a completely different side of diving we hadn't seen before.
So it's more, well, it's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of recording marine life, which is equally valid, I think, in all cases. So, what made you start diving in the first place?
For me, it was we walked past on a family holiday with my mum. I walked past the dive centre and mum went, "Do you want to give that a go?" And she didn't really see me the rest of that holiday. I was underwater, and that's kind of how it all took off for me. Whereas,
With me, it's so my dad's a scuba diver. He was a scuba diver instructor, and then he became a charter boat skipper. And he then ran his own diving business, Porthkerris Divers, which so it's I've just grown up around it, and it's something that ever since I can remember. I mean, I remember having like stealing one of my dad's masks and wearing it in the bath, pretending I was a diver. So it's just something I've always grown up with and always wanted to do.
Excellent. So, Porthkerris divers. I love it down there. It's a great spot, by the way. Um, so now you've done all this intense diving, really. What do you think about the future? Is diving now going to be or photography a major part of your lives from this point on?
I'd love it to be. I'd absolutely love that to be where my career goes, and fingers crossed, let's touch wood. That's what happens, but I'm not sure it is.
Yeah, well, we're kind of doing our HSE courses, which was the start of this trip, so that we can kind of more get involved with media side of diving.
Right. The a small bit of advice um, is one of the main things is networking.
Yeah.
And there are so many people out there who are taking fabulous photographs of this, that, and the other. But in the end, it comes down to who you know or how you get in touch with them. So don't overlook networking. It's so, so important. Having said that, um, bucket list. Have you got a bucket list? What would you love to do next?
Oh.
So up until this year, the only place I'd ever dived was Cornwall. So I do want to go into a lot more dive travel, whether it's worldwide or even just going to some of the spots we've missed along the UK. Obviously, we haven't been able to get everywhere.
I second that. Try and travel as much as I can with diving
And a camera.
and a camera, and capture what I think a large proportion of the world doesn't see, because it is underwater and it's quite hard to get to, and being able to show people what they're missing out on.
Yeah, absolutely, so important. It's which kind of brings me to conservation, which is a passion of mine, especially in the marine world. Uh, Have you any contacts or thoughts or projects that might help or tackle marine conservation in any way? Are you able to use your photos to further things?
I'd done a little bit of work with, or I helped out with a company called Fathoms Free, which is based down in Cornwall. They are a group of divers who are recovering ghost fishing nets that have just been abandoned at sea. So they are very, very talented divers who are always looking for fundraising. And I helped out and made a film with them last year. So I would love to be able to tell more stories like that, and how people are helping out the ocean again using diving.
Yeah, good. Great cause. Fathoms 3. Brilliant. Brilliant. Um, well, look, it's been lovely talking to you. I wish, excuse me, I wish you all success in the future. Loved looking at your series. Uh, how much more have you got to do on the trip?
We're about halfway of the diving trip until we get to Oban, and then it's 3 weeks in Oban doing our HSC.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with that. I hope it all works out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And nice to meet you. Bye for now.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you.